Hello everybody, my name is Timekeeper. Today I'm going to be showcasing two plugins in this video that I feel like they're insanely powerful for sound design, and I've been using these plugins a lot with designing basses and getting some cool effects. They're from the amazing plugin company Kilohertz. If you guys don't know what Kilohertz are, you're living under a rock. I mean, Faceplant, that's by Kilohertz. Disperser is by Kilohertz. But so this is Shaper Table and Filter Table. These are two wavetable based plugins. The names basically say what they do. Shaper Table is it's a wave shaper. It's a wave shaper, but you can use wavetables to shape the distortion of your sound, I guess. And Filter Table is basically a filter, but you use wavetables as the waveforms. And yes, you can import your own wavetables into both of these. Let's go. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show here is Shaper Table. Now, I have a pretty basic saw wave going into this. Just a basic saw wave. And if I turn on Shaper Table and move the drive knob, as you can see, it's distorting the sound, and we can move the wavetable. Pretty cool stuff. And you have a bunch of stock presets to choose from. You can choose like a bunch of these creative ones, like this duck fat one. Pretty cool. And you have different controls here, like you have the phase, and you have bias, and you have smooth. And you also have your mix knob. You have DC filter on and off. And you have some overflow modes here. You have mirror. You have repeat. And you just have hold, which just has the one sample. Mirror basically mirrors the sound, and repeat just repeats the waveform. And so yeah, you got like a whole bunch of like stock wavetables to choose from, but you can actually import your own wavetable. I have the wavetables I found online folder that I have in Serum, that from all the wavetables I've collected over the years, of just a whole bunch of wavetables and stuff like that. So we're gonna use some of these NASCO wavetables as distortions here. We're gonna use one of these format ones. And you can already tell we're getting some crazy sounds. We're getting some crazy sustain noises here too. And yes, you can use these to make like really cool sustains. So yeah, that's pretty much Shaper Table. Now let's talk about Filter Table. Now this one I hear talked about a lot. Like this one, pretty much I hear a lot of like big name producers talking about, and this one is pretty cool. So you got your cutoff knob, classic filter stuff, resonance, mix. You got your phase, linear phase, original, and raw. Pretty cool. But same deal as Shaper Table, you have different filter presets here. One of my personal favorites is Notch Drop. Pretty cool for like growls and stuff. But same thing in Shaper Table, you can actually use your own wavetables. This time I'm going to use the Live 10 wavetables. Which one? I'm going to use Amber. Oh, the Live 10 wavetables don't work. I forgot about that. Crap. We're gonna use let's use one of these Virtual Riot wavetables, because I know a lot of people use those. Let's use this Complextro wave. Or one that's a little more like analog, I guess, like one that's not just noise. This dinosaur ones I've gotten crazy sounds out of just messing with the cutoff alone on like a random frame. And try the different modes too, like linear, original, and raw. You might not hear a difference, but it's there. Also, you got resonance. Pretty fucking sick. Let's try like different wavetables. Yeah, like these two plugins are insanely fucking powerful, and I think you guys should really get a hold of these plugins, because you can make some crazy stuff. To show an example of a bass sound like that I made going through these wavetables to kind of change your sound, I'm using the Square 4 the Bro Step preset that I made in a video. You can check it out. You can check it out up here. Oh wait, depends on where I'm pointing. You can check it out right here. And we're gonna be using these two plugins to really change the sound. So this is what the sound sounds like originally. Let's actually like bring this down a little bit. There we go. Now let's turn on Shaper Table. Kind of messes it up a little bit. Let's use one of these lethal bass wavetables. Why not? You can like really destroy the sound. This one beat it probably. You know, it kind of takes some tweaking because, like, with Shaper Table and bass sounds, you know, it sometimes sounds cool. I mostly only use Shaper Table on, like, Serum basses if it's, like, a sustain, because it can really crunch up the sustain. I'll show an example of that later on, but I'm going to show how we can change this bass a lot with just Filter Table. See, just with this wavetable alone. Let's go back to Dinosaurs, because that one has a pretty good result. There we go. Now we're getting into like Dion Timmer territory with this. Pretty sick, and you can like experiment with different like filters. And you can choose like the different modes. Pretty cool. And if you want some like extra flavor, like turn the mix down to your liking. Yeah, pretty sick. All right, to show this, but in a instance with making 6 sustains, this is where I would use Shaper Table the most. So this is what the sustain sounds like normally, and here's with Shaper Table. See what I mean? You can. And you can combine this with Filter Table. Listen to that! Hell yeah! So the possibilities are endless. You can make some really... I've made some really sick sustains for my sample pack that I'm working on. just from these two plugins alone. Like, I've made like random stuff in Operator, ran it to these two plugins, ran it through Trash 2, ran it through like everything. Like, also, like, this is like a cheaper alternative, I feel, to the Trash 2 distortion trick, because I believe there is a buzzsaw stock preset like hiding in this somewhere. So yeah, those are the 2 kilohertz plugins. I'm not sponsored, by the way. This is not a sponsored video, but I just thought I'd share these 2 plugins because they're insanely powerful, and I think you guys should absolutely pick them up. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.